you guys are doing a pretty cool event, the 401, you know, the sort of industry-leading event at Cannes, and it's on the topic of creative optimization, I believe.
Correct.
So tell us why you selected that topic and what the event will look like.
Well, we've got a number of very articulate Xaxis executives that will be on the panel, along with, of course, our fearless leader, Sir Martin Sorrell. We also have John O'Keefe, who's the Chief Creative Director for all of WPP. And as a result of that all-star lineup, we also have one other DCO company on board, which is a company called Xaxis, who we've been particularly impressed with. When you look at what's happening in the DCO community, Dynamic Creative Optimization, there's about 15 companies out there that all have 3 to 5 blue chip advertisers that are increasing the amount of DCO that they're doing. More and more of the Fortune 500 companies are coming online with DCO. And when you think about it, it makes all the sense in the world, because in the media business, we've been optimizing media for years, which is really about the who that you put the ad in front of. Dynamic creative optimization is really the how and what are you putting in front of a consumer. And once you add that component to a digital campaign, the results are nothing short of amazing. In almost all cases, performance for a campaign goes up. Frankly, I don't know why everybody isn't doing it.
So Dave, what does it look like? What are the flavors and what do you hope? I mean, you know, is it sort of there's a commercial and you're in Florida and it's for a sort of a outdoor kind of living ad versus Minnesota for something else? Is it weather? Is it location? How sophisticated is it getting? Where does it stand and where do you hope it goes?
Well, it's actually all those things. And of course, in the display world today, you can have an ad that could have 15 different variables for which you have 15 buckets of content that allow you to build that ad with all those different variables in real time, depending on who the user is who's going to view that ad. So for some of these campaigns, you can have as many as 400,000 or 500,000 different variations of a display ad that is determined based on the user profile. Now, video is a little more difficult to have that many variations, but over time, I believe you will find that to be the case as well. However, today, when it comes to video, much of the optimization is done with superimposition over the top of the video itself. And in a simplistic example where you've got a BMW speeding through the hills, if it's a man that's viewing it, the superimpositions may say excellent speed and acceleration and handling, which of course male attributes by and large, although there's quite a few women nowadays that like to speed and like handling. But for the woman, it may be about safety and comfort as opposed to that. Yet the video component is actually still the same. Now, there are some instances where there'll be maybe 5 to 10 different videos that are produced that then are directed to the audience to which the profile is intended. But over time, you're going to see real-time video being put together to accommodate a particular user with many more variations than 10 or 15. Maybe not approaching the 400,000 that I talked about before, but getting very close to a customized video advertisement for an individual user.
So Dave, at Cannes, you know, creativity and technology will be a big thing. There are a lot of challenges, a lot of interest, you know, a lot of things on people's minds, from the walled gardens, the emerging walled gardens, the issues of ad blocking, of viewability. There's a lot of good and bad. What do you anticipate some of the conversations to be at Cannes this coming June?
Ad blocking continues to be a big one, and it's one, of course, I have a very definitive opinion on, and That is that if somebody's blocking your ad, why are you letting them into your site? Let them go to the competition. Competition can't monetize them either. And if they don't want an ad, then they should pay. Offer them a pay alternative. If everybody stops people that have ad blockers from coming to their site over the next month, you will see a dramatic decrease in the usage of those blockers. In fact, in Sweden, they're already teaming up to do that. Now, the IAB Tech Lab has also come out with the lean principles, which are all about user experience, not loading up your page with too many ads and so on and so forth, which I think are all good, and any website that wants to grow its audience ought to subscribe to lean principles. But the principle that I really like, or the acronym that the IAB has also come out with, is called DEAL, which is about detecting an ad blocker, evolving and creating a conversation with them, asking them to drop the ad blocker, and L, lift the blockage if the ad blocker comes down so they can visit the site. And that's where I think the websites ought to concentrate as well, is on DEAL, because there's a quid pro quo here. You get free content in exchange for advertising. And unless you're willing to accept that quid pro quo, Mr. User, then you don't get my content.
So Dave, so what do you hope, you're going to have a lot of clients there, WPP has a lot of clients, what do you hope they get out of Cannes this year?
I hope that they continue to recognize how forward-thinking WPP has been. When you think about Xaxis, the fastest growing asset of scale within the WPP family, it will only be a matter of time before the other holding companies follow our lead, and you will see Xaxis lookalikes at these companies. So I hope that they recognize how forward-thinking we've been, how transparent we have been with our business at Group M overall, and how we've been leaders in terms of viewability, fraud, piracy. As you know, we don't pay for something that isn't seen, and it's pretty hard to argue with that.